They're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Jets. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25.
Here we go, here we go. 11, Thomas.
Right to the air is Burrow. He's got a man complete. 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, you spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Hall to start the drive. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Play action. It's Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. Finding space at the 40. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The Jets at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room. But they do have to start winning some games.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Ball again on 2nd down. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Wilson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Bengals are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here we go. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They're passing here. Joe Burrow being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary. All of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So on is the lefty, Kevin Huber, to kick it away for the Bengals here on 4th down.
And here comes Berrios.
It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
A give running right is Hall. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
But the Bengals had the remarkable run to the Super Bowl last year, but one team that gave them trouble were these New York Jets. You might remember back in Week 8, it was the Jets rallying behind backup Mike White, who threw for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns, and a 34-31 New York victory over the Bengals.
Play action. Now Wilson.
His pass complete to Ruckert.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
3rd and short, and they decided not to run for it, and he's able to escape the pressure finds a clear throwing lane outside the pocket, gets the completion, and picks up the first down.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Steps away.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Hall on a give up the middle. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
On 3rd down, Wilson.
On the out route, he completes it to Hall.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
But it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Got it. Squeeze, get in there.
They'll go for it. It's Hall. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there. Relied on the big guys up front and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
That pass complete to Moore.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
A give up the middle to Carter.
Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run with Hall, and he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
On 1, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Here we go.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Here we go.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the 1st down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
11-90.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47.
On 2, ready? 11,
Burrow on play action.
He will find his man Chase complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
11.
Now Burrow on first down.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 33.
They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Only 3 there on the screen at second down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Straight ahead is Hall.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Wilson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half.
On first down, Wilson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
All Trey Hendrickson did in his first season in Cincinnati was set the team's new single-season record with 14 sacks. In his last 2 seasons, 1 in New Orleans, he's become one of the best in the league.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game.
Trey Flowers picks it. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down.
11.
Burrow Looking to pass. This is caught. It's Boyd.
Down inside the 10.
Touchdown. Tyler Boyd. His third touchdown now on the year.
And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Here we go. Here we go. 11, 11, 11. 11, 11.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Here we go.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
11, Palmer. Stop.
Now Burrow. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half.
Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Ready.
Wilson now off the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
All that for a 2-yard gain, second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Throwing is Wilson.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they work this out past the 25. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Burrow will throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Well, 2 snaps ago, I don't think anyone thought a safety was on the table, yet it happened. They cut him on back-to-back plays, breaking through the line. No amount of evading was going to save him from a sack on either play. And on the last one, he ran too deep into the end zone to set up the safety.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Hall again. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. There for the sack, B.J. Hill. Here's the Jets punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Taylor now returning it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
I'm fine, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Jermaine Johnson there to bring him down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On one, ready?
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Now it's Burrow. Out to his left.
Throw left side complete to Chase.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35.
The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
Here we go.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
11 empty.
Here's Burrow. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Here we go.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
11 mighty. 11.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
11 empty.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins.
Touchdown, Bengals.
T. Higgins.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Berrios now from his end zone.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready, ready.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
They gotta go.
This is Mixon on the draw. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Buying time to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Gun.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. Touchdown! T. Higgins with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Come on, set.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's a quick throw out to Wilson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Wilson to Wilson there. Zach to Garrett for a Jet first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Wilson. Ruckert hauling it in on the out route. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here's a give to Hall.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the 1st down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Dancing to his left.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 72 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Here we go.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Ready.
To throw is Wilson.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Now Wilson. And my goodness, another interception.
Daxton Hill picks it off.
He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And a completion to Wilson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
The general manager of the New York Jets continues to make investments in the receiver room in this draft. 10th overall pick. They invested again, this time with Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. Great speed, outstanding body control, really goes up and snatches the ball out of the air. Everything that you're looking for in a WR1. He gets the first down right there.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete there to Moore.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he'll find Hall.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
Yeah, this defense as a whole has really been flying to the football all game long. They have not allowed too much of anything, and here's another example. A great play there to get in and disrupt it before it could get going.
There's Hall bringing in another one. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
To throw again is Wilson.
And he'll complete this one to Berrios.
And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
Set.
One last shot for Wilson. And now here is another interception.
And the Bengals come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down.